Tento's family. It's your boy Tony, and you're watching TentoezTV. Yo, so this is a pretty crazy stretch today, right? And so if you were, watching the TentoezTV, so a couple weeks ago I put out an episode, right? And it was about USA versus China. And so the video was basically, the pros that China had and their infrastructure, their electronics, just a lot of what they do there seemed a lot more better than what's going on right here, right? But I guess that was all speculation and perception because I just came across this video today, right? And I started watching like maybe 5 minutes of it, and I thought I had show this to the collective. So the internet is a crazy place to be today. And what I mean is I couldn't tell you what's real or fake anymore. So that video I put out of the Chinese infrastructure was beautiful, it was amazing. It seemed like they were doing a lot better than the American people, right? But after, the trade wars and after everything's happening and, imposed tariffs and, all these rates and shit getting slapped on everybody. So today it just showed me that not everything is what it seems. Because the infrastructure could look nice, but the people could be suffering terribly, right? And that's basically what it is. So after the tariffs were imposed, basically China tried to do a trade war with the buyers, which is us. You don't want to try to, ruin your relationship with the buyer if you're the seller, because if you can't sell, then what's going to happen? And not only that, so the USD, right, is the world's currency, which means that you can take United States money and you can basically go anywhere in the world and spend it. But you can't take any other money from the world and just spend it everywhere. So, say that China ruined the trade relationship with us, right? And we don't want to buy. So they try to go south to India. Imagine India buys all of their product, right? They're going to be getting paid in Indian money, in the rupee, which means that it's not going to be good in Russia. It's not going to be good, so on and so forth. So the world currency is USD. You can spend that anywhere. So that's what's going on. They're saying, well, we'll trade with someone else. But when that time comes, that money is worthless. So this is a stretch on today's video. This is what's going on. Yo, like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's check it out and get a closer look.
In late March, Zhejiang supermarket in Yichun, Jiangxi province, abruptly closed without prior notice, causing a large crowd to rush in and hoard the remaining goods. A TikToker said, "I went to Zhejiang supermarket in the evening, and in just a few
All right,
hours,
let me pause it right
everything was..."
there. Yo, so y'all remember, right? When we were out here looking crazy because no one wanted to trade with us, but we were helping everybody out. And when that certain pandemic hit, we were looking like that too. Buying out all the grocery stores, looking crazy. Everybody's in line, waiting in line for hours and hours. It's not funny when it's happening to y'all, right? We had to deal with this for years and years and years. Now it's happening to y'all. And I don't wish this, to my worst enemy, but, the tables have really turned this side around. Let's get to it.
Gone. Only empty shelves remained, and some people were still in line to pay. A video posted by another TikToker said, "Zhejiang, such a large supermarket, suddenly closed. I heard that within a day, everything was sold out. People were still lining up to pay until 1 or 2 in the morning. What will those with prepaid cards do?"
It checks out.
I walked into the supermarket and didn't know what was going on. It immediately turned into a frenzy. The store was a mess. Older folks were leading the charge, pushing shopping carts stacked high, crashing through the aisles. It was like they weren't just grabbing products, they were charging into battle. The snack section was completely wiped out. Chips that normally cost over 20 yuan were now 3 bags for 10 yuan, and they were snatched up in seconds. Mums and dads were grabbing as they shouted, "Save 2 bags for me!" Everyday items were just as chaotic. Toilet paper was gone in an instant, and someone even ran off with a whole box, muttering, "I won't need to buy toilet paper for a year." The supermarket has been cleared out.
A woman
That's sad.
posted a video saying, "Last night when I bought fruit, there were no signs of any issues. Now the supermarket is gone. My shopping cart still has over 2,000 yuan on it. Someone commented and said, "This is our local supermarket. They sold cards and then gave the cards to suppliers. Then they used the money to build buildings, and now it's all gone." Another comment said, "Zijing was actually the most popular supermarket in Shanghai. I didn't expect it to go bankrupt. What a waste of my shopping vouchers." Supermarkets across China have been closing at an increasing rate. A video shows another large supermarket in Zhejiang shutting down with the first floor completely empty. In March, 8 Yonghui supermarket locations in Guiyang, Guizhou, closed within the span of 1 month.
Oh my god. Yonghui Supermarket has closed 8 stores in Guiyang, and in just 1 month, the entire Yonghui at Huaguoyuan is shut down. Huaguoyuan, with 500,000 people, can't even support 2 Yonghui stores. Today, the Yonghui at Sanqiao Houwan also closed. Now in Guiyang, Yonghui only has Jinyang New World and Century Jinyuan left. Is Yonghui pulling out of Guiyang? What will happen to all these workers?
Public records show that Yonghui Supermarket, a chain listed on the Shanghai Stock Exchange, was founded in 1995 and is headquartered in Fuzhou, Fujian. As of December 3, 2024, the supermarket chain had 1,288 stores with a total operating area of over 8 million square meters, covering 585 cities across 29 provinces and municipalities in China. A TikToker analyzes the reasons behind the large-scale shutdown of the Yonghui supermarkets in Guiyang.
The sky is falling. The Yonghui supermarket my mum loves to shop at is closing. I heard before that Yonghui was going to close at least 350 stores nationwide this year.
And let me
because
pause
of
it right
massive
there, okay, when she said the sky is falling, right? And I don't even really take that as her being like over exaggerating, because look, if it's your favorite grocery store, like, right, and they have the best deals, this and that and the third dot, and all of a sudden they just go bankrupt and close down, all that leaves is room is for the more expensive groceries. And not only that, there's going to be more demand on product, which means they can price it even higher. And that's what's getting everybody. That right there, that demand, which is causing them to be able to price it even higher, even though there's no shortage. It's just because of what's going on with the tariffs, they can't buy, or they can't sell, or they can't, move things around in cargo. So a lot of the way tariffs work, right, is you have to pay that fee and rate only if you have enough product that is able to fill like a whole cargo container. If for the small business owners, tariffs are only reciprocated by large corporations. Small business owners, they don't have enough product to fill a cargo, so they don't have to pay all that extra fees that the larger corporations have to pay.
losses. I didn't expect it to happen so quickly, right here at our building.
The TikToker suggested
Let me
that the
pause it right
nationwide
there. Sorry, in relations. Yeah, in relations to the tariffs. Yeah, there we go. That's look. It's early. All right, it's an early morning, guys. I woke up at 5:55. It's barely 7. Give me a break. Let's get to it.
closures were linked to the current sluggish market environment. In the past, both the real estate market and capital markets offered high returns. Even retail stores like these, which didn't make much profit, could use the small profits from the real estate and stock markets to offset losses from their physical stores. However, with the real estate and stock markets no longer profitable, it would be even harder for supermarkets and other industries in similar situations to survive. This TikToker delves deeper into the business logic behind the closures of Yonghui supermarkets. He says that when it comes to supermarkets, the US has Walmart, France has Carrefour, and the UK has Tesco. China also has its own leading supermarket brands, with Yonghui Supermarket being one of them. However, in recent years, Yonghui has faced challenges, with its market value significantly shrinking and many of its stores closing. The rise of online community group buying has played a major role in this. Even physical stores are increasingly leaning towards online shopping, with platforms like JD.com's grocery service and Meituan group buying presenting serious challenges to traditional supermarkets. But Yonghui's troubles don't end there. Management conflicts have also been a major factor in its decline. The two brothers leading the company have different visions. One wants to focus on online development, while the other prefers to strengthen the offline presence. As a result, the company has struggled to secure a foothold in either area, with competitors steadily closing in. The situation at RT Mart supermarket isn't much more promising.
Another supermarket has closed in Changxing. Making money is hard.
This is an RT Mart supermarket located in Changxing, Zhejiang. A video shows the supermarket has closed, with shelves having been emptied. A TikToker analyzes whether supermarket closures could lead to a stagnation in consumption. If supermarkets close, who benefits? Right now, many suppliers and distributors in the supermarket supply chain are struggling to survive. Our supermarkets are in the same position, with many already closing down. The most frustrating part? Suppliers and influencers who made a fortune supplying and promoting for supermarkets.
Here's
When
another
the
ad.
supermarkets disappear, their businesses will fail too.
Go.
In the end, supermarket owners, employees, and landlords will all be out of luck. No one's making money. Many will lose their jobs, and the entire industry will collapse. Who does that help? Supermarkets are a crucial part of daily life
And
for
let me
people.
pause it right
But
there.
now,
Yeah, so not only that, right? Not only will the industry collapse, not only will supermarkets close, you guys realize China has one of the biggest populations, like like in their whole area. Like China and Asia has one of the biggest populations. So now imagine stores are closing. This is going around, the whole nation over there. Imagine what's going to go on weeks from now, even months from now. This is something that's serious. Let's check it out.
so many are closing, and people on the streets seem to be wasting their time. From manufacturers to distributors, wholesalers, employees, promoters, and landlords, when the entire chain breaks, consumption will stop, and the market will descend into chaos. The TikToker disagrees with the idea that online shopping is superior. He said, "Some people say supermarkets could save money by cutting out the middlemen, but that's not true. Take ride-hailing apps, for example. They started with many discounts, but now the prices are quite high. The same goes for food delivery platforms. Initially, there were plenty of subsidies, but now it's costing more, and the quality isn't always up to standard. Supermarkets have the advantage of controlling product quality and providing timely shopping, advantages that online shopping simply can't match. Why do people still go to supermarkets for daily essentials like rice, oil, and fresh fruits and vegetables? It's because they can see the quality for themselves." He added, "Supermarket owners wake up early and stay up late, hoping to run their business well, provide convenience to everyone, and secure their own livelihood. Keeping the supermarket open means keeping our jobs and keeping life convenient for everyone. I hope people will support supermarkets more so we can get through this tough time together." One supermarket owner says that his store is facing closure. He's unable to hold on any longer, having lost 300,000 yuan. It's a painful price to pay. All the cabinets have been pulled out. It's all empty now. The only thing left are these few freezers. The owner said the remaining items in the supermarket must be sold at a discount. The shelves have already been sold to someone else, and in a couple of days, they'll come to take them away. All the snacks have been returned, but some items can't be. Many items that were originally bought at a higher price are now being treated as waste. The total cost of opening this store might have exceeded 300,000 yuan, including air conditioning and renovations.
Yeah, let me pause it
not
right
even
there. And
counting
that's what doesn't check out right for them, because with the tariffs and with everything, they're basically gonna start losing money soon. They can't go on like this any longer. Let alone we couldn't when everybody was ripping the United States off for more than 40 years. That's one thing I do agree with Trump on, is that we need to do things for ourselves as a state, as a collective, as America needs to do for America for America. Does that make sense? Other than that, this is what's going on. Let's get to it.
other expenses. Now, everything is being cleared out, and it feels like we're left with just a few thousand yuan. A Chinese TikToker notes that the closure of supermarkets in China is often blamed on the impact of the internet. However, the deeper reason is lack of responsibility for the products sold, with many supermarkets selling low-quality goods. The TikToker explained that when Carrefour, a French supermarket brand, entered China in 1995, it introduced Chinese consumers to the concept of warehouse-style hypermarkets. Following this, large chains like Yonghui, CR Vanguard, RT Mart, Yike Long rapidly expanded across the
Okay,
country.
guys, let me pause it right there. A Vanguard. Y'all know who Vanguard is? Vanguard, BlackRock. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say anymore, but they have their own building in China. Vanguard, one of the United States of America's top behind the scenes investor. Besides BlackRock and um what's his name? JP Morgan, from Chase Bank and all that kind of stuff. So that's crazy. Vanguard has a building in China. I don't even know what questions to ask about that. Let's get to it.
However, the ease of profits of the time may have led supermarkets to neglect future planning, resulting in widespread problems. Many supermarkets have serious issues managing their products and supplies. The first issue is their use of retail monopoly power to impose unreasonable terms on suppliers. In the past, to get products into supermarkets, suppliers had to pay entrance fees. Once inside, they were also required to pay shelf fees, promotional fees, anniversary fees, event fees, and more. This practice meant that products were not chosen based on their quality, affordability, or consumer reputation, but rather based on the amount of marketing funds supplied. As a result, prices for consumers were driven up, explaining why many supermarket products were more expensive than those sold online. Additionally, some beloved local brands disappeared from the market with the decline of traditional department stores. For example, inexpensive items like needles, nail clippers, lotions, toothpaste, and simple shoes, which were once commonly available, are no longer stocked in supermarkets due to the high entry fees required by these stores. Though such products may
Exactly.
still be found in some older shops in certain cities, supermarkets no longer carry them. Secondly, supermarkets often delay payments, putting pressure on suppliers and distributors. Payments are sometimes delayed for 3 to 5 months, or even up to 6 months or a year, putting suppliers and even manufacturers under severe financial strain.
Hey, let me
Supermarkets take
pause it right
advantage of
there. China, FAFO. You know what I mean? For the longest time, y'all were getting up on us. Now look at y'all. And I'm not, saying this to start like any, controversy or anything like that. It's just more about the business aspect of it. And it's not just China. It's a lot of Asia too. It's Russia. That's crazy. Yeah, because Russia is considered Asian technically. Wow. Okay, yeah. Let's get to it.
this cash flow to open more stores or invest in other industries. This practice makes it difficult for small and medium-sized retail businesses, especially those with slim profit margins, to cooperate with supermarkets. As a result, products in most supermarkets are highly homogeneous. In some categories, there are only 1 or 2 brands, mostly large joint
That's
venture
whack.
brands. The third issue
I
lies
love
in
New
price
York.
confusion, which misleads consumers. For example, a carton of milk may only cost 18 yuan, with a membership price of 15 yuan. On weekends, it may be part of a buy two, get one free offer, and during promotional events,
Hey, let me
it
pause it
could be
right there. Y'all look at that. Look at that's okay. So I do believe that those might taste good, but compared to what's like, oh, you know what? Because our bottles are really bad for us too. Honestly, there's no way you're getting around this. Bottled items just aren't good anymore. Let's get to it.
sold at half price. In addition to the
Look at that.
usual reasons for clearing stock or promotions, an important factor is the attempt to obscure the
Those
fixed
shits look
prices.
so
The
cheaply made.
TikToker
It's
explains that for
crazy.
most products, there's a stable ex-factory price. For example, the price of a pack of instant noodles doesn't fluctuate like stock prices. In many small independent supermarkets, prices remain fixed for months, but large supermarkets are different. They fear that
Hey,
consumers will have a
Kim Ching, right? He like his noodles. So, hey, that's good that there ain't. And I like my noodles too. So, hey, y'all like your noodles. So, y'all better be grateful that this hasn't affected the noodles. Except if you buy the noodles in bulk, that's getting pricey. Y'all getting brave pricey my noodles. Let's get to it.
fixed impression of a product's price, making it easy to identify the supermarket's profit margins and which items offer better value. For example, if a supermarket maintains a price of 18 yuan for milk most of the year, consumers will come to associate that price with a product. When the price drops to 9.9 yuan, they buy more. When it rises to 20 yuan, they may hesitate or go to another supermarket.
Seafood
By
ramyun.
frequently
That's
changing
what it said.
prices, supermarkets create artificial fluctuations which blur consumers' perceptions of the standard price. This makes it easier to hide more expensive items or encourage customers to walk through the entire store looking for bargains, increasing the likelihood of
That's crazy. Imagine your currency being so undervalued that a pack of noodles costs 1,500 of it. That's crazy, right? A pack of noodles for us is just like a dollar maybe 20, dollar 30 maybe if that. Not 1,500 of them. Jeez. I'm starting to think, and a lot of these places saying, United States, this and that, but I keep forgetting y'all money doesn't go anywhere. So I got to keep that in mind. Once you guys have the world's reserve and hold the world's currency, then we can come talk here. But until then, step in line and do what you guys need to do to protect your people because y'all are starving out there. Let's get to it.
additional purchases. He went on to say that these three issues are common practices. As for more severe cases, such as changing expiration dates on fresh products, selling inferior goods as higher quality, inflating prices during promotional events, and shifting responsibility for faulty products to manufacturers, these issues also frequently occur. If this continues, supermarkets that sell low-quality goods will eventually be discarded by consumers. Although online shopping is currently popular, starting an online supermarket doesn't guarantee success. One supermarket owner shares his experience of his failed attempt to launch an online supermarket. This was once my entire dream. 3 years ago, I quit my job, emptied my savings, and opened this online supermarket. I thought that with enough hard work, I could establish myself in this market. I researched products and stayed up late picking goods until the early hours. But reality turned out to be even harsher than I expected. Traffic costs keep rising, platform commission fees went higher, and competitors were undercutting prices. To survive, I kept investing in promotions, but my orders kept decreasing, and the stock kept piling up in my warehouse while my bank account kept emptying. I tried everything, borrowed money from friends, asked suppliers for extensions, even mortgaged my house, but the overall situation kept worsening. Consumers were tightening their wallets, and I couldn't sell my products anymore. They say
All right. Well,
entrepreneurship
okay,
is
let
a
me
life
pause
or
it right there, right? So just looking at what we walked through right there in his little inventory shack or whatever he has there, all that stuff isn't really, in high demand. I can just look at it. Like, yeah, he might get some sales here and there, but all that stuff is not going to keep the lights on, especially if e-commerce. So that's one thing that's a pro and con about e-commerce, right? Is that it's cool. You don't have to physically be there. Yeah, there's more of a tax on it, gets shipped to your house, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. But you don't really get to see anything in person. So that turns a lot of people off. So, stops them from not wanting to order. Or, maybe you have to tax something because the way you're getting your products in are even more taxed on you. Now, so it would have probably been a little bit better. So it's crazy in today's age that we live in. It's a very strange place to be alive because everybody and their grandma's trying to start a business. Let's be honest. Even I am. Even you are. Even your friend might be. No one wants to work for anybody anymore. Everybody wants to start their own business. Everybody wants to do this and that. And at the way rates are going, inflation, the way, all of this, the way people aren't wanting to work anymore, the way they won't raise um, wages, all of this, it's a very strange place to be alive because all of it is starting to break down little by little by little by little. And it's not in a sense of it's going to break down and we're going to know where to pick up the pieces. Everything is so far reached and it's so like out of the box that even when things seem to be more settled, we're still not going to know where to turn on how to get society back into, I wouldn't say the rat race, but it's more of the routine, you know? And I agree with everybody, because I don't want to work for anybody either. I would work with somebody, that would be great, but I don't want to work for anybody anymore. You know, like, yeah, I'm a manager, but I still have a boss, and he still has a boss, and he still has a boss. You know what I mean? That's just what it is now, and that's what everybody. It's just a strange time to be alive. Let me tell you. But let's get to it.
death battle, but no one tells you how much luck is needed. I gave it my all, but still failed. Today, I've decided to shut down and clear out the stock. I'm
Very
sorry, I
competitive
really did my
space.
best. Chinese economic expert U.S. Shan believes that the overall economic
Yo, Tento's family. Thank you very much for watching this discussion and topic. Yo, so this reaction video, it just it had me reacting to it in the beginning. So I was like, yeah, I need to put this out for the Tento's family. Yo, also look up China Observer. I'm gonna be posting them right here. But they have a lot of in-depth videos about what's going on economically with China. And I mean, it's crazy. I could tell you one thing or another, or I could tell you one thing and you could see another. Because as that video I put out, it seemed like they were doing just great. But after the tariffs were imposed and everything got slapped on, it's just like a very fast change of events. Not that. What if it's just something that they were trying to, get us to perceive as something really good, and it really wasn't. Just like in the movie, The Interview, with James Franco, when he goes to, was it North or South Korea? I forget. But when he goes there, remember the grocery stores are fake, the food's fake, this and this and that, this and this and that. But that movie was years and years ago, and we didn't start realizing all of this until just last year. So it's crazy to think that something could be a lot better than it really is, or someone might be putting propaganda, good or bad. And it's vice versa. It's for the United States, it's for China, it's for everywhere. But what to believe and how can we? When you got AI, you can't even. I, this right here is a real reaction of what's going on, because it's it's honestly baffling. It's crazy. Like this is mind-boggling right now. It really is. But yo, thank you, 10 Toes family. Yo, like and subscribe. Join the collective. You guys are getting me to the algorithm, and honestly, I couldn't be more appreciative. Yo, if you guys seen that recent short I put up, that one is going off. Let me tell you, it's kind of cool. Like I haven't had a post like that get a really really big view like that in a long time. The last post I ever had before they took my original TikTok down, before I made this one, had 500,000 likes. Right? It already went viral, but it was a little video I put out, and after my TikTok got deleted because of, I guess, before they changed the new like TikTok laws and the rules or whatever on TikTok, a lot of my videos got striked, so it took my channel down, and I was like, dang. But I didn't let that discourage me. I just had to get some things right in my mind and hit it even harder. But yo, more videos coming out this week. We're gonna be talking about this Netflix show called Adolescence now. That's gonna be a discussion for tomorrow, so be sure to check that out. And yo, today I'm gonna be attending my first real wedding. Like not my own wedding, because I'm married, but I mean someone else's wedding I've never been to before. So that's gonna be kind of cool. But yo, on to the next one, Tentos family. Make sure to eat your breakfast and drink your water and smoke healthy. Later.